Hello, how are you doing today? Welcome to another video. Ever since I first learned about what O'Neill cylinders were, I've been obsessed with these incredible space habitats. Giant, self-sustaining structures designed to give humanity a home among the stars. Proposed by physicist Gerard K. O'Neill in the 1970s, these cylinders are massive rotating space stations, often miles long, that use centrifugal force to simulate gravity along their inner surfaces. Sunlight is reflected through mirrors or provided by electricity, while the entire structure rotates and keeps everything, the people, the plants, even entire cities, firmly on the ground, or on the hull, I guess. So inside these you can see sprawling landscapes, towns, rivers, even weather systems, all contained within carefully managed, balanced artificial world. It's the ultimate blend of engineering and imagination. Literal world building. O'Neill cylinders have inspired sci-fi for decades, but surprisingly they're not as common in fiction as I would think. The most famous examples come from Mobile Suit Gundam, where these cylinders, often called space islands, serve as homes for humanity beyond the Earth. It's quite wild really that I've been fascinated by O'Neill cylinders for years, but I've only just discovered Gundam recently. Yeah, I know, how do I miss one of the biggest anime franchises ever? But oh well, I found it eventually. Its other appearances include The Expanse, where rotating stations like Tycho and Medina follow similar principles, and even Interstellar's Endurance Ring hints at the concept, and Interstellar also does have the Cooper Station, which is a bog standard O'Neill cylinder. But honestly, I do wish there were more. I think that there's a lot of potential for world building with these cylinders, and they are way more realistic, even though they don't seem it, than the conventional spaceship, which we don't know the physics of how a spaceship would travel faster than light or anything like that. I don't think an O'Neill cylinder is going to be going faster than light anytime soon, but we do know how to build one, and we would know how to make its primary function as a space habitat. So let me introduce my O'Neill cylinder and the bits and bobs that I've made so far, problems that I've had, things I've had to redo, and things that I've discovered that will make making these cylinders going forward much better, much quicker, and much funner. So let me show you my process and how I got here. So as anyone who has put together a 3D print model will tell you, there is an awful lot of trial and error, trying one thing, trying another thing, then you make a load of things, and then you realise a better way of making them things, and it just, yeah, you just never seem to bring anything together. So these are different models that I have built over the last weeks in 3D Builder. I'm not very good at Blender, I can't do it. I just stare at it and I can't even seem to make anything happen. I just get angry, then feel really guilty, and then close the program again and go back to the 3D Builder, which probably takes me way more time to put together models, but I know what I'm doing with it, and it is pretty simple. I wish there was something in between that and Blender. So I've got two 3D printers. So I've got my Kiddie X-Max 3 and my Creality Ender 3 version 2. So the Kiddie is a very large printer, so that's better for the main parts of the hull, and then my little Ender tends to be better at the internal parts and you know, more detailed bits. I'm printing with Deeply filaments. I use Deeply, a Lego, and this Solian, which I think is made by Creality, but I use loads of different filaments, but these are just the ones that I've got at the moment. I always find it quite easy to
audio sync in 5, 4,
I think I'm just going to end up
3,
just
2,
making every model out
1.
of matte grey, really.
Audio sync.
So let me show you what I have already.
Okay, so welcome to my humble abode. Audio pause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What I have so far printed, the first print I did was this here. So my first attempt at printing a O'Neill cylinder was this beautiful thing that you see here. But obviously, yeah, that's not really an O'Neill cylinder. But I will be using this as part of like a outer shell, like armor, for the current ones, because it is a lovely print, lovely quality. The embossing of the name and everything's really good, but it's not what I want. And also with this model as well, I had printed out and painted these, so they are landscapes, obviously. This is actually modelled off the the British Isles and Northern Europe when the sea levels were a lot less. So I partially painted that, so it is, you see, 3D printed, and then I've put a little primer on there. So that's one approach that I was taking. I then changed the design again of the cylinder once I'd improved a little bit and took a bit more time. So the next iteration of the cylinder is this. This is one of the biggest cylinders I will be able to print as one piece, as it is 31 centimeters tall, and my printer only prints up to 33 centimeters, so it is stretching at the limit. But obviously, because I've split the model up, the overall length of the ship is longer. And with this model, I've also printed out the interior plates. These were printed with the Creality. Might look a little bit rough at the moment, but we're going to clean those up. I have actually found a different way of doing the landscape, so we won't be necessarily having buildings this large going forward, but live and learn. So yeah, we have these 3D printed cities. So I've got quite a few of those. So we've got this one, which is New York, or parts of it mixed up. I believe that building right there, if my camera will focus, that building right there is the Chrysler building. You can see it better on that one, but yeah, which I've just broke. So it's one of the reasons that we're not necessarily printing those plates anymore. So as you can see, so we've got the main cylinder. Then the next part of it is the agricultural ring. Oh, sorry, we've also got more. So the first agricultural ring I printed out was this one. That's going to look like a steering wheel. So this is a agricultural cylinder, well, torus actually. So that will go, it should just about balance on the top. Yeah, it's a bit. So that is the torus in real life. They would be spinning in opposite directions. That's the whole point of this thing, is it gives the cylinder something to kick off. So that is the first cylinder, and then this is its end. So we're gonna put this one together. I'm not gonna, this is a lovely print, but I have slightly changed it and made a smaller version that should be a bit more manageable. So let's take a look at that one now. So this cylinder is my version 2. cylinder. As you can see, it's much smaller. It's, I believe it's 75% the size, so it's 25 centimeters in length, but obviously it will be slightly longer when constructed. So it's absolutely identical in every single way to the other cylinder. It's just a little bit shorter. Actually, we'll keep them up there just so you can compare in the sizes. So obviously that does have the same fundamental structure. So I'll just get its agricultural ring, which I can't seem to find.
For God's sake, where is it? 3.5 eternities later.
So we'll just get that agricultural ring for this one. So yeah, as we can see, it is much smaller, and I was able to print all of this at the same time, whereas with, I think I had to, no I didn't, it's the original ring, agricultural ring that I made for the 31 centimeter cylinder broke when I would, like, well, it didn't break, it broke because it didn't print properly. It was all funny. So made a few changes to it. So the reason that the first one didn't work is that this band here didn't go right the way to the build plate, so it didn't like that, and all of this went all stringy and bleh. So we reprinted that one. But what's going on? Why is it all like wonky and sour bit? Why is it wobbling? Is that the actual
4 eternities and half a forever later?
seems to go round all right for so long, and then it almost like a leap year. It has to like sort of kick out a little bit. It might be that wasn't on quite straight. Oh no, what's going on here? It feels very wonky. Right, yeah, I remember doing that now. One of those things that you think's a good idea at the time to keep it steady and stable, but it's not in all instances. Right, so back to the video. So there we are. So that's the version 2. So we will be eventually setting that up as well. The other parts of my version 2 that I did. So we'll just turn that around actually, so I can show you my full build. I did accidentally break this one as well when I was getting the supports off, but we'll just be able to superglue that. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Now this is actually, God, that feels very slippery, very slippery. But we'll give it a go. Right, so yeah, so agricultural ring, docking station, main cylinder. Then we've got the asteroid mining section here. So this is the area where the mining vessels or the haulage vessels will bring in the raw materials, and they will be broken down and constructed into materials and building equipment and whatever the cylinder needs at the time. And then right at the very end, because this particular cylinder will be going to the outer solar system, more specifically the orbit of Saturn. So this cylinder is equipped with a fusion drive, which will supply the cylinder with which will supply the cylinder with energy for maneuver, for travel, moving, and for all life support systems. Because out at the orbit of Saturn, obviously the sunlight which most of the cylinders in the inner solar system are able to run quite happily on solar power. Serena, this cylinder will have solar power panels, but it will not be the primary, as it will not be reliable enough out at the orbit of Saturn. So there we have it. There's the completed O'Neill cylinder model. It's pretty bare bones at the moment, as it's not got any of the interior at all. So I will be adding that in the next video. We will be going through that. I just want to introduce a few more plates. This is another one. Sorry, it's not really. Yeah. So this is another one that I 3D printed. This was supposed to be like a like a civil, like a civic. This was supposed to be like a civic centre kind of thing. So it's a bit naff as well with the stringy, because this was quite old PLA. I had it out for quite a while. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just show you how I tend to make these 3D, oh my god. So what I'm going to show you now is what I do to make these cobwebby messes a bit more attractive to look at, especially with all the fine detail in. You do want the builds to look nice, and when you've got when the printer head is going backwards and forwards making all these buildings, you do tend to get a bit of string in here, either and dither. So but it's okay. It's not there we go. It's not really much of an issue, but there are little tricks that I've found that can improve that situation. First one might sound a bit unconventional, but it's to get a lighter. I do want to get one of the the ones with the little stick that you light candles with, so it will be better for this job. But basically what you want to do, what I do, is I hold the whatever it is upside down, and then just get the lighter and just quickly pass over it. Like, I mean, look how fragile these are. Yeah, see, I've changed I'll show you. I've changed how I design these, so they're not like this anymore. But anyway, if you do print something like this, then to get rid of them little annoying things, just pass over. It's a bit like Independence Day. Just pass over it, and it just gets rid of all of it, and then you can go through and pick off all of the little bits there and just destroy a few more buildings in the process. Well, as you can see, that has got rid of most of the little offenders. So we'll do the same with the other one. So see, ooh, look at that. Looks like giant spiders have taken over this city, but we'll get rid of that. If you do leave your lighter too long, it's all right. It just sort of makes it go. I mean, obviously, don't leave it too long. It will eventually, obviously, damage it, but it just tends to go a bit black sometimes. I mean, and I don't know. This is only a theory, but I'm pretty sure that when you go over it with the lighter, it actually makes things stronger. I think it must like melt like the outer layers all together a little bit, so it just, secures it. But yeah, so they're mostly all gone now, and also it does make painting easy. But yeah, it took me about a month of making these kinds of models before I just thought, oh, all these spider webs all over everything, I can't get them off, I can't brush them off, and then I just thought, hang on, why don't I just burn the damn things off? So there we go. So this is another this was another Civic Plaza kind of plate for the bigger cylinder. So these are the supports that the printer puts on, just so it can print this curved face there, curved bottom rather. Just pull all that off. Sometimes this is all waste, but it's surprising if you can, you know, clip a little bit out of them. Sometimes they're quite good for little greebles, little bits here and there. So this one's a bit stringy, I guess, but if you take everything off, you know, it's a bit like pulling a thread though on a jumper. It'll just like keep coming out. Unless see, I'm thinking on the fly here. Unless I burn it like I would. Perhaps not. Perhaps that's going to make things worse. I don't know. A chuckle and draw might come in use at some point. So our focus for the time being is going to be constructing the big one, which was the first one, because these plates and everything here are all designed for this size. So we will be building that, and then find a new way of doing the terrain, which I will be showing in the next video. So yeah, we're just gonna put some color onto these plates and then add them into the larger cylinder over there. So our smaller cylinder, which in reality is actually bigger. Oh my god! Nah, it's all fine. It's made out of strong stuff, so will be, oh, one part actually, yes. One thing that I didn't mention just then that I should have is another part of this cylinders, which are the external, like I've designed these as kind of like airlock port type things. I've recently learned that you would never enter a O'Neill cylinder from its side, really, just because, one, that's like awkward, and straight away you're kind of fighting against gravity, whereas if you come in at the end of the axis here, you're actually entering a 0G environment. In the center of the cylinders there is no gravity. Well, there is, if you're precisely in the center, there's no gravity, but the gravity gets weaker as you approach the center of the axis, and if you were to be in the center, you would maybe eventually drift and then slowly accelerate towards the ground, towards the direction of spin on the cylinder. But that's why this design, I think, will certainly exist at some point. Well, probably already does exist somewhere out there, but I do believe that humanity will one day create these structures themselves, as it is the most logical solution, as you can colonize, you can go through the nightmare of colonizing Mars and live in basically a Antarctica that's twice as cold, a little bit darker, and has no air, whereas we can set up an O'Neill cylinder above the moon, and above, well, we will do that, but set up a factory around Mars and just mine the resources and bring them up, and maybe build the odd structure on Mars. But it's a lot easier if you've got another million or so people in orbit around your planet in self-sustaining habitats than back on Earth, 90 million miles away. So let's get on with it. I'm blathering on as normal, but I just wanted to get this because I have been working on this for quite a while. I'm just printing and not finishing off the models. So that ends today. So I'm going to put this video up. So I've got a deadline that my next video will be up hopefully at some point tomorrow, where we will be painting these I mean, I might put it up later on today, or it might be at the end of this video. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm not sure what my plans are, but I just wanted to let you all know that this is the project that I'm working on. And also I'm going to try and do my usual thing of doing a good old bit of world building as we go along as well, with the story of these cylinders that we are constructing. And then going forward, what I would like to do is I'm going to make, like, when I get better at doing the interiors and things, I want to begin doing like themed cylinders, you know, because once you've got these things being constructed, you create so many cool, interesting places when you can control everything from the gravity, the environment, the atmosphere, everything essentially, you know, because in these agricultural rings, this would also have gravity on this outer edge here, with the gravity slowly weakening as it goes around the torus. So you would have like all farms and all military no, sorry, Bob. But yeah, you'd have all of the farming equipment and storage from because your port is here at the top. So that would you can't even see it on this. I have got another shot, so you'll be able to see it on there. But yeah, so look to there we go. So this is the port here at the top, and so you'd have no gravity in the center, and all your agriculture and everything's all there. And you do manufacturing as well. You would do that off the main plates where people live. Okay, so thank you very much for watching today. If you have any tips, or if you've got any ideas to improve these models, then please do comment down below. If you've got any other suggestions about the world building, or if I've got anything wrong about O'Neill cylinders or space habitats, or if you could help make the models more realistic, then please do let me know. Thank you very much for watching today, and I really hope to see you again soon. Have a good one. Bye bye. Have a good one. Live without horizon. Bye bye.